الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. We begin with the beautiful name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts the barakah in this majlis, in this zikr, so it changes and transforms our heart and make each and every one of us someone who is pleasing in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah ta'ala, please remain focused on the dhikr, please remain focused on your hearts and make sure your hearts are attentive towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so we can maximize the benefit. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli dhanbin wa atubu ilayh. Astaghfirullah. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب. نشرح لك صدرك. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم يا قاضي الحاجات، يا قاضي الحاجات. اللهم يا كافي المهمات، يا كافي المهمات. اللهم يا دافع البليات، يا دافع البليات. اللهم يا شافي الأمراض، يا شافي الأمراض. اللهم يا رافع الدرجات، يا رافع الدرجات. اللهم يا مجيب الدعوات، يا مجيب الدعوات. اللهم يا مسبب الأسباب، يا مسبب الأسباب. يا مسبب. اللهم يا أرحم الراحمين، يا أرحم الراحمين. برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Ya Allah Kareem, whatever was read. Allah, we ask you that you send the reward of this to all the Anbiya Kiram and Mursaleen alayhi salatu wassalam, especially our beloved Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Allah, send the reward of this to all the companions, Sahaba Kiram, Iswanullahi Ajma'in, to the Ahl Bayt, to Ummatul Mu'mineen, to the Ashra Mubashara, to the Khulfai Rashideen, especially Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, Ya Allah, send the reward of this to all the Siddiqeen, Shuhada, Salihin, Ulama wa Mashayikh Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Ya Allah, send the reward of this to all the arwah, all the mu'mineen, mu'minat, Muslimin, Muslimat. Ameen. Ya Rabbil Alameen. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا خفي اللطف أدركني بلطفك الخفي. يا خفي أدركني. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا باقي أنت الباقي. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. لا حول. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك أستغيث. يا حي يا حي. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والله ذو فضل على المؤمنين. الله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله ولي الذين آمنوا. الله الله ولي. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والله ولي المؤمنين. الله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والذين جاهدوا فينا لنهدينهم سبلنا. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. We have been speaking about spiritual diseases in this discourse that we have taken in this Majlis. Alhamdulillah, we have covered quite a few of them. And inshallah ta'ala, the series will continue. But today is probably one of the more important ones. Inshallah, we'll talk a little bit about the disease of heart, which is called vanity, which is called arrogance, pride, ujab, takabbur. And this is a disease that is one of the muhlikat, that it certainly destroys a person who suffers from them. So what is ujab? Ujab basically means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of His infinite mercy, when He blesses somebody with some ni'mah, some blessings, the person, he or she personalizes those blessings as their own. And because they think incorrectly that this blessing is out of their own doing or is personal to them, that causes for them to become deluded, and that causes for them to fall in self-love. They start to love themselves. They start to feel good about themselves. Now, there are a lot of ni'mah that we can think about in terms of dunyavi ni'mas. So let's count some of the worldly things that can cause ujab. I want you to give some examples. Some worldly ni'mas that can cause ujab. Degrees. So if somebody goes to a college, he or she gets a bachelor's, a master's, a PhD. Now their self-view changes from the identity of a faqir that Allah Ta'ala has given them, Antumul fuqara'u ilallah. The identity of abd, a true servant and slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they again wrongfully start to think high of themselves because of their degree. What else?
Yes,
Cars. So if we generalize it, worldly belongings, and this is probably one of the main sources of ujab, is wealth. That in this small journey that we call life, that we have to traverse through 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, it's like a wink of an eye. Allah Ta'ala has sent us. Every day people come in this world, and every day people leave this world. But during our stay, if we start to think that this dunya belongs to us, whether it is a beautiful house, whether it is a beautiful car, whether it is wealth, bank balance, whether it is how much land we have, whether it is other aspects of dunya, again, a person becomes deluded. So this, again, I'll keep on using this word of delusion, because ujab is delusion about one's own self. So people think that I own this, even though it's been given to him or her for a very small amount of time. Everybody comes in this dunya alone and they have to leave this dunya alone, leaving everything behind. So wealth, worldly possessions is also a source of ujub. What else?
Beauty.
Beauty. So just because Allah Ta'ala gave us DNA that caused us to have a subjective sense of beauty, husn, people start to personalize it. They think that somehow they are the cause of it. Allah Ta'ala gives it one wrong DNA sequence, and if the nose was not here, it was here. If the eyes were not balanced, little things, and that sense of subjective beauty is gone. Things and people that we think that are beautiful. Again, this is the rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He has created that sense of beauty into things. And again, ujab is to become deluded that somehow we are the source of the beauty. We, rather than returning all the khair, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala caused me to be born this way, whether it is beautiful eyes, beautiful voice. Sometimes people can sing and people can read nasheed in beautiful ways. So all of these things which cause a sense of beauty, voice and faces, and this is something that Allah Ta'ala has created within us, and it has to be returned back to Him. And so those people who Allah Ta'ala has blessed with haqq, with haqiqah, with realization of the truth, they will always, when they are praised, they will always return the khair back to Allah Ta'ala. But it's not me that has caused it, it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has caused it. So husn and beauty is another. What about, so we're talking about all these dunyavi aspects, what about the dini aspects that can cause ujab? So sometimes if we start to pray a little bit more, start to do a little bit more zikr, start to go out for a little more dawah, start to have more ilm. Ilm is actually one of the bigger sources of ujab in a person. And there's a reason behind that, because ilm is a sift of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now Allah Ta'ala's ilm is kamil, but when Allah Ta'ala gives somebody this ilm, even like a drop of it, if that person, rather than thinking that this is a ni'mat and rahmat from Allah Ta'ala, and this is not my doing, this is Allah Ta'ala's ni'mat, and He can take it away. And there are stories like the Shaykh Abdullah Andalusi, rahmatullah ta'ala alayh, there was a test on him, and for the period of the test, this great Hafiz al-Quran and Hafiz al-Hadith, he forgot his Quran and he forgot all of the Hadith, save one ayah and one Hadith. And so what Allah Ta'ala can give, Allah Ta'ala can take away as well. So whether it is one's ilm and sometimes pious amal, this is ajib, that sometimes when a person, especially the salikeen, when they do some dhikr, this causes them to become a little bit more self-righteous. This causes for them to fall into, again, that delusion of self-love and self-image that I am righteous, I am pious, rather than the opening and the realization that I am nothing, I am nobody, I am insignificant, and this is nothing but rahmat of Allah that He allowed us to sit and do dhikr or gain ilm or go out to da'wah or pray some extra nawafil. None of this is personal. This is a tawfiq min Allah. This is a tawfiq from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He allows us to do any of this. I can swear by this. Like, thodi si Allah ki nazar hati, a person falls so deep into sin and ghafla, like this person is thrown away from the presence of Allah. And this is why Allah Ta'ala gives the example of shaitan murdud in the Quran. Aba wastakbara. So this person became, so we're only talking a little bit about ujab today, but the eventuality of ujab is takabbur. So this person was deluded about himself because he saw in himself certain qualities. I have ilm, I have ibadat, I have ma'arifah, I am ta'usul malaika, that I am the crown of the angels. So he became self-deluded. rather than this humble slave and servant of Allah Ta'ala, whose sole purpose is to submit himself completely and utterly in front of Allah. He became self-deluded. And so when the hukm of Allah Ta'ala came, Wasjudu li Adam, he do sajda in front of Adam alayhi salam, he hesitated and he rejected it. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rejected him completely. He is known as Mardud. He is known as the one who is rejected and dejected. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala threw him out of his grace. And so we should not feel that that cannot happen to us, because our actions sometimes are worse. I mean, Shaitan just said no to one sajda, and we say no to so many sajdas. We say no to so many amals. We say no to so many ahkamat. We say no to so many parts of Sharia. We say no to so many parts of tariqat. Meaning, we are in a greater danger. The fact that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came and Allah Ta'ala does not send down this direct azab on us, it doesn't mean that we cannot be experiencing qabd from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And sometimes salikin suffer from that as well. That even though that they're doing dhikr, they will feel this kayfiyah of qabd, meaning all the kayfiyat, the states, the conditions are taken away. So Allah Ta'ala can do that. And this is a sign that a person is being pushed away from the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I would say, salikin ke liye, especially for the salikin of tariqah, it is very, very important to establish this izz in their life. Establish this humbleness in their life. And that humbleness, the tawadu, it has to be for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Man tawada'a lillahi, that you have to be mutawadi for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And really feel it inside, not just use some vernacular and vocabulary as ajiz and faqir or ahqar, but really feel inside yourself that I am literally nobody. I am insignificant. And if there's any khair in any of our existence, it is through nothing but grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Allah ki karam hai, Allah ki nazar hai, bas, that's it. So it's important to establish this in our lives. It's very important, especially in Silsila Naqshbandiya Mujaddidiyya, in which is actually a major part of one's experience. Is actually a major part of the nisbat itself. Like the nisbat of Naqshbandiya Mujaddidiyya, one of the manifestations is the tawadu of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. And we all know what he used to say, I wish I would never been born. So having that feeling, okay, I wish that I was never born. I wish that I was a bird. I wish that I was a blade of grass. I wish I was here on the badan of mu'min. Right? So there was such utter self-negation that the greatest of people after, without any doubt, after all the Anbiya Karam, the Siddiq Akbar, the highest state of Wilaya, Siddiqiyat, even then, he's the highest of highest in the Siddiqiyat. And he's looking at himself, and what does he see? He sees nothing. He sees nothing. So it's very important for students of knowledge, for students of tariqat, for students of da'wat ilallah, to establish this level of self-negation so ujab does not penetrate. And it's very easy for it to do. And we must remember that this self-love, the eventuality, exactly as I said before, that people will start feeling good about themselves. They want to covet shabash, they want people's praise, they want people's acknowledgement. All of these are signs of ujab. If you look within yourself and you want to be acknowledged for the extra 2 nafils that you prayed, or maybe you grew out your beard, or maybe Allah Ta'ala gave you tawfiq to wear an imama or a jubba of some kind, whatever these small manifestations. If a person is coveting that praise, if a person is coveting acknowledgement, if a person wants that shabash, then we can certainly see that vanity has penetrated our hearts. Because when it's there, then it wants that. When the virus is there, now rather than turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not caring about what other people say or don't say, now people want to be noticed. They will go in the masjid and they will see around and look around. There's a certain gate of self-love. They walk in a certain way, they talk in a specific way. And it is a very unauthentic existence because they will pretend, they will be pretentious to be something when they're not that. We'll pretend to be righteous, we'll pretend to be a wali of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when we're not that. We'll pretend to be one of the akabirin when we're not that. So it's important to just be very humble about those things and keep yourself in check. Nobody else can keep you in check. Ujab ka ilaj hi ke, we have to keep ourselves in check. And one of the things that we can do, and we'll only focus on ujab today, one of the things that we can do is intellectually tell ourselves that no, this is not me, and I know when people praise me, oh, aap to bahut neek hai, then we know that I am not me. Oh, aapka to aisa hai. Return that back to Allah Ta'ala. Badi achhi awaaz hai, Allah ki di awaaz hai. Badi achhi shakal hai, Allah ki di shakal. So intellectually telling ourselves that, but then we can also do muraqabah on that too. That we sit down and we look at all the ni'mah that Allah Ta'ala, look at whatever praises that we may have felt or the wanting of praise within us. And then we tell ourselves that, mere andar to ye cheez hai hi nahi. Agar meri awaaz achhi hai, if my voice is good and I can read Quran in a good way, to Allah ki taraf se zara gala kharab hua to bismillah zuban se nahi nikalti. Right? और अगर मेरे अंदर थोड़ा माल पैसा है तो I know कि I don't deserve any of this job I don't deserve, this business I don't deserve, the barakah that Allah Ta'ala put in this I don't deserve. All of this is from Allah Ta'ala. So look, having this consciousness of the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala always in the heart, and then deliberately doing muraqabah and returning it back to Allah. You did this. Allah, you gave me this. Allah, you are the source of it. I am nobody. So it's important and essential to get rid of ujab and that self-righteousness कि इंसान जो है इस चीज़ का मुराक़बा करे और अपने आप को इस चीज़ का यकीन दिलाए, because this is the हक, यही सच है, this is the truth कि असल में हमारे अंदर ये यानी कि खूबियाँ कमालात कुछ नहीं है. These are the madhar of the sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is the beauty of the satari of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He has hidden our faults. Because wallah, we are sinful people. We are very sinful people. We are extremely sinful people. And if people don't know about it, it doesn't mean that the sins don't exist. The apparent and inner sins, they exist, and Allah Ta'ala sees them. And Allah Ta'ala knows us. Allah Ta'ala knows who we really are. And we can pretend in front of others, but we cannot pretend to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So acknowledging that fact, Ya Allah, I am this bad person inside, and then being grateful to Allah, Ya Allah Kareem, you hid my faults. Allah, even that I did not deserve, that you hid my faults. Ya Allah, if people knew who I really was, Allah, they would not even want to sit next to me. They would not even want to spit on my face. They would stone me away. They will pelt me. Ya Allah, the fact that they don't do that, and whatever little honor and respect they give me, Allah, even I don't deserve that. So this is something, this is actually the ilaj of ujab and takabbur as well. That we do this muraqabah. And this is also intellectual exercise, but it's also spiritual exercise, that we tell ourselves and have this yaqeen that there is nothing that's there, that this self-negation. So हमारे सुलूक के अंदर भी, there are certain asbab that focus on this aspect of the nafs, of takabbur and kibr, primarily from 17th all the way to the 20th sabr focuses on this nafs. And if a person does them correctly, the condition, the state of that person usually is okay, the nafs melts away. And this whole thing about me, myself, and I, and self-love, it just melts away. And even though we exist, our own existences gets negated away. So inshallah, may Allah Ta'ala allow us to get to that part as well. May Allah Ta'ala give us fanai nafsi, inshallah Ta'ala. May Allah Ta'ala allow us to purify ourselves from this ujab, inshallah Ta'ala. In coming weeks, we'll talk a little bit more about takabbur, and we'll talk a little bit more about those aspects of this sin as well. Inshallah Ta'ala. Allah said, Wa Allah Ta'ala. अपने बातनी सफाई नसीब फरमाए Allah Ta'ala cleanses us, purifies our nafs, and makes us into humble creatures in front of Allah. Ameen Ya Rabbul Alameen wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah. कुछ देर के लिए अभी मुराकबा करेंगे. Inshallah, we'll do muraqabah for a few minutes. Close your eyes, disconnect and step back from all of our thoughts. Let go of them. Bring your focus, your concentration, your tawajjuh down to your qalb. It's 2 fingers below our left chest. Focus on it. Negate everything and everyone in this dunya. Na zameen, na asmaan, na chand, suraj, sitare, na insan, na haywan, na shaitan. Affirm Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's presence, the Zat that is all the kamalat of safarat and free from any kind of naqais and uyub. Feel His presence. Make niya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's tajalliyat and warat fayazat. His face is coming, it's entering into our qalb. It's cleansing it of all the filth, darkness, all the lust. And feel that your qalb is saying, Allah, Allah, Allah. لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. سبحان ربي على الوحي. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكن. اللهم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. اللهم يا عزيز يا حنان يا منان يا ذو الجلال والإكرام يا حي يا قيوم يا حي يا قيوم يا حي. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي سبيلك النار. اللهم إنا نسألك رضاك والجنة والآخرة. اللهم إنا نسألك حبك. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من شرك وشرك وشرك. يا أرحم الراحمين. صلى الله تعالى على خير خلق محمد.